There are a lot of different ways to define demons. An overarching description would be something along the lines of a supernatural being prevalent in religion, literature, mythology, and assorted media. Thanks, Wikipedia. But we know that demons are much more than a dry definition could ever hope to describe. In fact, these spirits and divine powers are a lot stronger than most want to give them credit for. Sure, lots of demons are physical representations of human traits and are often confined to far-off regions of hell that could never reach Earth under normal circumstances. But who cares about normal circumstances? There is nothing normal about the demons that we're about to talk about. In fact, they are all most definitely burly enough to put an end to all life as we know it. Sweet. Hello horror heads and welcome back to the Scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm your horror host, Keegan Hughes, and today we are going to be taking a look at the top 5 scary demons that could end the world. Before we get started, make sure you take a moment to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you want more demons and devils. Now that we're in a suitably demonic mood, let's start the list. Coming in at number 5, we've got Beelzebub. This one's a super big Persona 5 spoiler, so if you haven't played it yet or are still waiting for the Switch version, sorry. Maybe skip to the next number. The Holy Grail, the God of Control, the fake Igor. This is the absolute biggest bad in Persona 5. After the Phantom Thieves defeat all of the other more publicly menacing enemies and assume it'll be smooth sailing to the end, this guy shows up to ruin everything. And he totally does ruin everything. As the manifestation of humanity's wish for order and control, this mecha angel can control people's desires and their cognition of the world around them. He considers himself a god above all other beings. Talk about a superiority complex. As such, he is also representative of the 7 deadly sins: lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, pride, you name it. He has the power to destroy the world through a hard reset of everything or by enslaving humanity through a false reality. Although he didn't begin with all that power. Beelzebub holds the human world in the palm of his hand and is made more powerful by the will of humans as a whole. The more people that wish for a strong leader and to be told what to do, the more mighty he becomes. Upon gaining sentience, he saw how corrupt society was and decided that humans should be met with ruin. This is a little bit paradoxical though, because he does have the ability to influence the will of the public. As such, he could steer them in a better direction, but instead allows them to continue on the same path in order to ensure his rule over the world. All this power makes him arrogant, believing that he is truly the ultimate being. That kind of arrogance makes me suspect that he would destroy the whole world on a whim, and he would have got away with it too if it weren't for those meddling thieves. Number 4, Beelzebub. No, not Beelzebub. This demon isn't quite as sick nasty on the drums. However, he is the demon of gluttony, the devil of pride, the false god. He's one of the 3 most prominent and powerful of the fallen angels alongside Satan and Leviathan. This guy sits atop Hell's hierarchy like it's nothing. Known for causing jealous murders and inciting wars, this is another demon who loves to watch the world burn. His aim is to cover the world with terror and corruption. And that's not too hard for a demon with dominion over decay and decomposition. You'll know it's him by the swarms of flies that surround him, or if he decides to transform into a giant hideous fly himself. And unlike Seth Brundle, Beelzebub can change back into his human form, no problems. These flies can even carry souls into the abyss. There are a few ways this fiery fly fellow might end the world. One would be raising an army of chaos at the drop of a hat. Yeah, that would be bad. Although, if I know anything about demons, I would say he might try some other stuff first. As a demon of gluttony, it's likely that his plans are already in effect. He could be very well influencing powerful humans, getting them to encourage overconsumption across the board. Why else would we be eating fast food and throwing away unused groceries when there are starving people out there? What other reason could there be behind the insane burning of fossil fuels and the constant purchasing of plastic gadgets that we don't need? It's Beelzebub trying to make us hollow out our planet. It's gotta be. If it's up to him, we won't go out with a bang, but with a whimper. Coming in at number 3, we've got Cenobites. Speaking of bangs and whimpers, if these terrifying extra-dimensional torture play demons take over, we'll be doing a lot of both. Hailing from Clive Barker's extended universes, the Cenobites have collective power unlike any other. To quote Pinhead himself, they are explorers in the further regions of experience. Demons to some, angels to others. Clad in leather, with lots of open wounds to boot, these BDSM-loving aliens can only come to Earth through schisms in time and space, opened by unearthly artifacts. When summoned, they are known to subject their victims to emotional and psychological torture far beyond what any human could have previously imagined. With a variety of powers, this is no big deal to the Cenobites. Hooks and chains that can be summoned from any shadow to rip and tear at the flesh of those under their influence, telekinetic powers, and otherworldly strength are just a few of the many ways they can drive humans mad with pain and pleasure. The pain is obviously being delivered in much higher quantities. As detailed in Hellraiser 2, they actually live in another maze-like dimension, and they bring their quarry into this labyrinth for unimaginable torture. There are also beastly abominations dwelling in this dimension that could be released into the human world, looking for some flesh to consume. Horrible monstrosities aren't well known for their self-regulation either. The Cenobites don't seem too concerned with destroying the planet in earlier iterations of the Hellraiser series, but starting in Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, it seems like some can break free of whatever was limiting that urge before. Pinhead acts on his own, flying in the face of previous Cenobite behavior, and uses his powers to cause all sorts of pain and destruction. This implies that other Cenobites have the capacity to do the same, which could spell out major calamity on Earth if they all choose to hop over one dimension en masse. Y'all better get ready for some intense pain and pleasure, or you're in for a bad time. They have such sights to show us. Filling out our number 2 spot, we've got the Icon of Sin. Somebody call Doom Guy, we need a little help. The final boss in Doom 2, Hell on Earth, this Baphomet-headed demon spawner could end our world in a heartbeat. In fact, it already did in Doom 2. Just because it was killed in the end doesn't mean the world isn't still blasted to smithereens. There's no taking back that kind of worldwide collapse. The Earth is already ruined by the time our heroic space marine shows up to kick ass and chew bubblegum. Wait, no, that's the wrong FPS. Getting back to how this giant robo-devil would destroy the world, it literally infinitely spawns demons from hell into our world. How does it do this? Well, in the Doom universe, humans have come up with some pretty ingenious teleportation technology. However, as teleportation tech is apt to do, it malfunctions and opens a portal to hell on Mars. We are led to believe that this problem only exists on Mars in the first game, but that would be too convenient, wouldn't it? In Doom 2, more portals open on Earth, and the Icon of Sin gets to chill in the bowels of hell and fire demon after demon through these portals to cause humans a whole lot of trouble. And if we're being real, nobody on Earth even comes close to the demon-slaying capabilities of the fictional Doom guy. So if these portals open, and if this metal-headed brain demon decides to spawn a bunch of Hellions in the city streets, it's all over. And filling out our number 1 spot, we have the Saint of Killers from Preacher. Of all the demons on this list, only one has successfully killed both Satan and God. Yes, I did say a demon killed God. That deity-ending demon is the Saint of Killers from Preacher. Once a bloodthirsty Confederate soldier known as the Butcher of Gettysburg, the Saint of Killers decided to settle down with a woman and find peace. Still a man at this point, he fell in love, had a family, and was happy. Sadly, he lived in a time where medicine was scarce and happy endings even scarcer. Disease took its toll, and his family died when he was out looking for a cure. Upon finding their corpses, the last sliver of good inside him disappeared, and he became a force of pure hatred. He walked through the town of Ratwater and slaughtered every single citizen. Upon emptying out the local saloon, he took a shot and was killed by a tornado. His hate did not max out there though. No way. Instead, he was damned to hell and forced to relive his family's death over and over. Each time he also lived through his slaughter of the Ratwater populace. Soon enough, he's sprung from hell to seek out and kill Jesse Custer, and well, the rest is history. Immortal and on a bloody quest for revenge against the world, the Saint of Killers is a killing machine. I mean, you probably got that bit from his name. His guns, a pair of Colt 1847 Walkers, were gifted to him by the Angel of Death. They never run out of ammunition, they never jam, and they are omni-deadly. That means they will not miss their target, and one shot will always kill, regardless of circumstance. It's like aimbot in real life. Can't kick this guy from the lobby. The guns can penetrate a dozen walls and actually drill a hole from one end of the earth to the other. Plus, he retains them even after dying, which coincidentally is how he kills God. So now he's up in heaven, ruling over paradise. And if he chose to do so, he could kill every last person on earth without breaking a sweat. And knowing the amount of hatred deep in his heart, he probably would without a second thought. So yeah, basically, we're all done for. It was nice knowing you all. I'll be in the fallout shelter in the fetal position. Call me when the world is nice and well done. Do you think we have a chance if any of these demons decide to end the world? Are there any planet busters that I left off the list? Let me know down in the comments. And I'll use that to segue right into some comments from last time. Steampunk Pixie says, just to be clear, I am not a horror head. I am a horror fan. Okay, well, I'll be clear as well. I don't actually have the power or influence to tell you who you are. I'm just greeting the folks in the audience who do consider themselves horror heads. Salud74 says, you folks are just too simple to understand tall grass. I understand tall grass just fine. That's what happens when you don't mow the lawn. In the tall grass, on the other hand, was less than deep, but I've said enough about it already. Ain't That Picture Dusty says, I thought La Whatever movie was pretty good. I'm pretty sure that there are only so many ghost types out there. What do you want from her? She's just a cursed woman. I mean, the fact that you're calling it La Whatever speaks volumes. Demand more from your entertainment, folks. There are lots of great movies and ideas out there that get passed over for mediocre ones every day. Just some guy without a mustache says. I personally didn't think Escape Room was a horror. It was more like how to get annoyed by watching dumb characters doing dumb things. Have to agree with you on this one, although it was marketed as a thriller/horror, so we'll have to take that at face value. Fat Laces Thedon says, Countdown was basically Final Destination with a timer. Yeah, and less cool kills too. And with that, we'll bring this video to a close. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.